In the relentless, churning ecosystem of morning television, where energy is currency and volume is a virtue, silence can feel like a radical act. For Lona Kelly Ripa, the 22-year-old daughter of entertainment royalty Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, silence is not merely an absence of noise, it is a presence of self. It is a carefully cultivated space where she has learned to navigate the peculiar dichotomy of her existence, to be both a product of the most public of forums and the fiercely private curator of her own world. This is a story about one such day. It is not a day of red carpets, paparazzi chases, or seismic career announcements. It is a Wednesday in late autumn. The sky over New York City is a pale, indeterminate gray, holding the metropolis in a soft, muted focus. For Lona, this is a day for introspection, a day where the emotional architecture of her life, the weight of legacy, the bond with her brothers, the forging of her own path, becomes the quiet soundtrack to her hours.
The day begins not with the jarring trill of an alarm, but with the ambient hum of the city waking up. Luna stirs in her downtown apartment, a space she has curated to be a sanctuary of calm. It is a deliberate contrast to the high-definition gloss of her parents' world. The walls are a soft, warm white, adorned with abstract art prints and a carefully arranged gallery wall of photographs. There are black and white candids of her brothers, Michael and Joaquin, a faded snapshot of her parents on their wedding day, and a cherished photo of her grandmother, the late Lola, whose warmth she carries with her like a talisman. She pads into her small kitchen, the wooden floors cool against her bare feet. The ritual begins. She fills the kettle, the sound a low, comforting gurgle. As she waits for it to boil, she leans against the counter and looks out the window. The city below is still largely in shadow, but the first streaks of weak sunlight are beginning to pierce the gray, illuminating the tops of the buildings across the street. This is her favorite time of day, the liminal space between the chaos of the night before and the demands of the day ahead. It is a moment of pure, unadulterated peace, and she guards it jealously.
The quiet is a learned behavior, a conscious choice. Growing up in a household powered by the incandescent energy of her mother, a woman who can command a room of millions before 9 a.m., taught Luna the power of stillness. She is not shy, not withdrawn, but she is a watcher. She observes the world with the same keen, analytical eye her mother brings to an interview, but she processes it inwardly. This morning, she watches a pigeon land precariously on the fire escape, cooing softly, and she smiles. It's a small, simple moment of connection with the living, breathing city outside her pane of glass. Her phone buzzes on the counter, a text from her mom. It's not a long, gushing message, but a single photo. It's a screenshot of a memory on her phone, a picture of a 6-year-old Luna, dressed in a too-big sequined jacket, standing backstage at Live with a wide, gap-toothed grin, clutching a microphone that was clearly taller than she was. The caption is simple. "Miss you, Loons. That mic stand is still jealous of your star power." Luna laughs, a soft, genuine sound that fills the quiet kitchen. The memory washes over her with a wave of fondness and a pang of something deeper. She remembers the smell of the backstage, a mix of hairspray, coffee, and the specific ozone-y scent of studio lights. She remembers the controlled pandemonium, the producers with headsets, the guests pacing and rehearsing their lines. She remembers watching her mother, not as the character she played for the camera, but as the general commanding an army, a woman of immense capability and warmth who could pivot from a serious discussion about politics to a silly dance with Regis in a matter of seconds. That world was a part of her childhood, a thrilling, chaotic carnival. But it also taught her about the sacredness of the off switch. She remembers the drive home, the gradual transition from Kelly Ripa, television host, to mom. It was in those quiet car rides, her mother's hand reaching back to rest on her knee, that Luna felt the most connected. It was a silent language that said, "That was the show. This is us. This is real." The photo is a reminder of a legacy she carries, but on her own terms. It's not a weight, it's more like a compass. It grounds her, reminding her of where she comes from, even as she navigates where she is going. Needing air, Luna pulls on a chunky knit sweater, a pair of well-loved jeans, and her favorite beat-up sneakers. She leaves her apartment, her hair pulled back in a messy bun, her face free of makeup. She is anonymous in the city, a fact she treasures. In a world obsessed with her family, she has mastered the art of being unremarkable. It is her superpower. She walks without a destination, heading west toward the Hudson River. The air is crisp and carries the promise of winter. She passes a small park where a father is pushing his daughter on a swing. The little girl's laughter is high and bright, and for a moment Luna stops, a knot forming in her throat. The sound is a time machine, rocketing her back to a memory she holds close. She is 5, maybe 6. It's a Saturday morning in the Hamptons. Her father, Mark, is pushing her on the old wooden swing set in their backyard. He is singing an Italian song, his voice a warm, rumbling baritone. Her mother is on the porch with baby Michael, waving. The sun is warm, the grass is green, and for that moment, the world is perfectly, blissfully small. It was before the fame of her parents became a thing she understood, before she had to share them with the world. It was just her and her dad and the swing. She blinks, and the memory fades, replaced by the present-day father and daughter. A single tear escapes, tracing a cool path down her cheek. It's not a tear of sadness, but of profound gratitude. She wipes it away quickly, a reflexive habit. Crying in public is for private moments. She continues her walk, the memory warming her from the inside.
Back in her apartment, curled on her small sofa with a book she's been trying to finish for weeks, her phone buzzes again. This time, it's a video call. The name on the screen, Joaquin Menace. She smiles and accepts. Her younger brother's face fills the screen, his expression a comedic mask of mock tragedy. "Lunas, I am in the throes of an existential crisis," he announces. Luna rolls her eyes, a familiar gesture of sibling affection. "Is it because you ran out of protein bars again?" "Worse," he groans, flopping back onto what looks like his own dorm room bed. "I have to write a paper on the socio-economic impact of the printing press, and my brain has officially turned to mush. Tell me something profound to write." Luna laughs. "I can tell you Gutenberg would be very disappointed in your procrastination." "Not helpful," he whines, but he's grinning now. "What are you doing? You look all cozy and mysterious." "Just reading, having a quiet day." Joaquin's expression softens, the joking facade dropping for a moment. "Good, you deserve it." "Hey, I was looking at old photos on Mom's cloud account. Remember that time you tried to teach me to skateboard and I broke my wrist in the first 5 minutes?" Luna groans, covering her face with her hand. "Oh God, Mom was so mad at me." "She was mad at you for not making me wear wrist guards," Joaquin corrects. "And then she was crying in the ER because she felt guilty for not being there. It was a whole Ripa Consuelos emotional buffet." They both laugh, the shared memory a thread in the intricate tapestry of their family history. He's the jokester, the one who uses humor to deflect, but Luna sees the depth in him, the quiet observer he becomes when he thinks no one is looking. Their conversation meanders for another 20 minutes, a meandering stream of consciousness about nothing and everything. Memes, their dad's questionable fashion choices, their mother's latest TikTok dance obsession. When they hang up, the apartment feels less quiet. It feels filled with the echo of his laughter. The bond with her brothers is her anchor, the one relationship untouched by the outside world's perception. They are the only 3 people on the planet who share the unique experience of being them. As the afternoon begins its slow fade into evening, the weak sun finally breaks through the clouds, flooding her apartment with a warm, golden light. It's the magic hour, the time photographers covet. Luna puts down her book and just watches the light play across the walls. She thinks about her own path. She is studying, quietly, exploring her own interests in art and design.
She has dabbled in photography, finding a voice behind the lens that allows her to capture the world as she sees it, with an emphasis on candid moments, on the beauty of the mundane. It is a far cry from the performative world of television, and that is precisely the point. Her parents have always been her biggest champions, not in pushing her toward the spotlight, but in encouraging her to find her own. She remembers her mother telling her once, "The world is going to have an opinion about you no matter what. You might as well be doing something that makes you happy." It was a profound piece of wisdom from a woman whose every move is scrutinized. It gave Luna permission to be still, to be quiet, to be a work in progress, away from the public eye. The golden hour light illuminates a small ceramic vase on her windowsill, a lopsided, clumsy thing she made in a pottery class last year. It's imperfect, and she loves it fiercely because it's hers. It's a tangible symbol of her own creation, her own journey, completely separate from the Consuelos Ripa dynasty. As the city lights begin to flicker on outside, painting the twilight and a million tiny stars, Luna dials a familiar number. Her mother answers on the second ring. She's in her dressing room at the studio, the day's work done. Her hair is down and she's changed into comfortable clothes. She looks tired, but the moment she sees Luna's face, her entire expression softens with a love so pure and powerful it seems to radiate through the screen. "Hi, my love," Kelly says, her voice warm. "How was your quiet day?" "Good," Luna says, and she means it. "Really good. I went for a walk, talked to Joaquin, just had a day." Kelly nods, understanding completely. "Good. Those are the best kinds." She doesn't ask probing questions. She doesn't need to. They have a connection that transcends words, built on years of silent support and unwavering presence. They talk about small things, Mark's new project, a funny story about something that happened on the show, a plan for the family to get together for dinner on Sunday. As they talk, Luna feels a familiar warmth spread through her chest. It's the feeling of being seen, of being known, of being loved unconditionally. It is the feeling of home, which isn't a place, but a person, or in her case, 4 people. After she hangs up, the apartment settles back into its peaceful silence, but it feels different now. It no longer feels like solitude, it feels like sanctuary. Luna pours herself a glass of water and stands by the window, looking out at the glittering city. It's a city of millions of stories, each one a complex tapestry of public faces and private selves. Her own story, she realizes, is not about the clamor of the public eye she was born into. It is about the quiet spaces she has carved out for herself within it. It is about the emotional richness of a day spent in reflection, anchored by memories, connected by love, and grounded in the simple act of being. A quiet, emotional day. It wasn't marked by any great event. There was no grand revelation, no dramatic confrontation. Instead, it was a day of small, profound moments. The taste of morning tea, the memory of a father's song, the laughter of a brother, the wisdom in a mother's eyes, the golden light on an imperfect vase. It was a day dedicated to the quiet work of tending to her own soul. In a world that demands constant performance, Luna Kelly has learned the most valuable lesson of all. The loudest noise is often the silence of being comfortable in your own skin. And on this quiet Wednesday in late autumn, surrounded by the echoes of her extraordinary family and the promise of her own beautifully ordinary future, she is exactly where she is meant to be. She is, finally and completely, herself.